Hey, what is going on, guys? It's your boy Taz from Take It Outside. Welcome back to the channel, and if you're new here, go ahead and hit the subscribe button for me. If you didn't know, I've got a giveaway going on right now for some Thrashin Go Fast gloves. Completely free, no purchase to you. All you got to do is subscribe, like the video, and whenever I release the rules, I requested that if you were a returning viewer to comment day one or something of that nature, and if you were new, to go ahead and give me a critique. Well, I can understand how that feels like I'm putting you on the spot to, make me look bad or something like that. So, with that being said, whether you're returning or you're new, just go ahead and, comment on the video. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think about the products we're going to go over today. And just let me know that you're subscribed and that you want to be entered. Right now, we've only got just two people entered into this competition giveaway thingy that I'm doing. The goal here is to reach 100 subscribers by the end of March. March 31st, I'm going to make a random drawing, and whoever wins gets a free pair of gloves in your size. The Thrashin Go Fast gloves right here. So yeah, if you're interested in something like that, let me know. Follow the rules. The rules are going to be pasted down below in the description. But to get back into the video, we've got 100% US sourced, US made, small business, just started, Harley parts. Let's go check them out. And we're back, and we're going to jump right into this. First and foremost, I just wanted to apologize for my little janky setup I got going on right here. I wanted to give you the best lighting I could possibly find, being that all of my interior lighting uses warm tones, so it has a tendency to throw off colors on camera, kind of like it did with my Lepera Seat in my last video. If you haven't checked that out, link in the description. But I wanted to give the best opportunity for these because the paint match on them is absolutely insane, and they're absolutely gorgeous. So what I've got here is a set of Genesis floorboards from ITD. I always want to say IDT. ITD Custom Designs out of Napoleon, Ohio. 100% USA made, USA sourced, which is very important because a lot of companies will say, oh yeah, USA made, but they source all their materials outside of the US. But they use 6061 aluminum for everything, stainless steel hardware, and clevis mounts for their pegs. Before we jump into these, I just wanted to give a little bit of information about this company. So you can get the full picture. Everybody knows Thrashin, everybody knows OG Moto, everybody knows, SDC, San Diego Customs, and all those guys that have made their mark in the industry. This is a brand new company. Started with two dudes. Marcus, the chief product officer, he hit me up after I showed some interest on a Facebook post of his in a group that we're in together. And I could not decline his offer. You know, I did buy these 100% with my money, but I couldn't decline getting these before the release date. The official release date for these is March 1. They'll have a full production line, including some softail models, primarily touring models, the way I understand it. Floorboards, passenger pegs, shifter pegs. They've also got a couple of the items that they are working on. I won't spoil that for them. I'll let them, you know, explain that themselves or show it off themselves whenever they get to that point. But going back to just two guys, right? So Marcus was a parts and service director at his local Harley dealership after he had moved back home to Ohio from Central Florida. Shannon, the owner of ITD, was a customer at the dealership. And Shannon was in there shopping one day for his 24 Street Glide. And him and Marcus got to talking about customizing and options and ideas and all that stuff. And along the way, he discussed the need for more lights on the front, as we're in the country part with a slew of deer all over. So they worked together and they ended up making up some mounts. You know, as the new bikes obviously don't have anything like that. The 26s, they've got lighting in their lower fairings, which I think is pretty cool, but below that, they don't have any additional lighting. So they made that together. Shannon patented the design, and after that, they discussed, you know, other parts and, you know, how cool it would be to create their own. And a very, very short time after that, ITD Custom Designs was born, and you know, they were off to the races more or less, designing, doing some R&D, you know, creating things, and there's some things about these floorboards that stand out from a lot of other companies. You know, even the top dogs like Thrashin. I'm excited to show you. They even cut the foam in-house that they use to secure the floorboards, just so they can control, you know, everything. You know, lead times, quality of the products, quality control, all of that stuff. They get to control all of that. That's how hands-on these folks are. So as I mentioned, their official release date is March 1 of 2026. However, you can pre-order from Marcus. I will drop his information right here, and I will also leave it in the description. They've also got dealer applications live on their website. If anybody in a dealer, you know, is interested in that, it doesn't have to be in a Harley Davidson dealer. It can be an independent shop as well. But what makes this company stand out from others is whenever Shannon and Marcus came together to make ITD, their goal was to create badass products that have a premium feel and style at a great price point. And you know, I couldn't agree more with that. Their pricing is very, very competitive. Let's jump right in here. So, right off the bat, we've got a Gen 1 timing cover. This thing will focus for me. It's not really wanting to focus. Maybe I can take a picture and post it around here somewhere. But this thing is very intricately detailed. I'll give you the hardware for that. Blue Loctite. Get you some, because you're going to need it. Now, on to the creme de la creme. These things are sick. So, as I said, they cut all their own foam. Dun dun dun. Dude. Let's get this guy out of the way. Look at that. Just look at the color of these things. Absolutely gorgeous. They even color match the mounting brackets. I will do a size comparison of these compared to the OEM. But one thing I wanted to point out here about these is if you look, there's a slant to them on the outside of the board. It's pretty gangster. So you don't have to worry about rubbing your boards whenever you're really getting it into the twisties. They are super light, super grippy material. And I just can't get over the color. The color of these things are just absolutely gorgeous. One thing that I do like is right here. Not only do they have a locking nut, but it's keyed. So all you need is an Allen wrench to take these on and off. Super duper excited. All right, so we are back out here in the cold once again. Crisp 22 degrees outside, but we're gonna go ahead and get this OEM floorboard off. If you didn't know, all you need is a 7/16 wrench and then a 3/16 Allen. You've got one mount right here, one mount right here. They just pop right off. All right, so I just got the stock board off. And this thing is significantly more heavier than the ITD Genesis. So I was just curious. So this is the board and the hardware. We're at 3 pounds. We'll call it 1 ounce, 3 pounds, 1 ounce for that. And then we'll get the ITD board out of here. It is so crazy how light that is compared. 1 pound, 15 ounce. So one OEM board is what, double the weight of one of these? And I'm not one of those guys that is like a you know, big, like, oh, I'm gonna have the lightest thing ever. But I mean, that makes a hell of a difference, I feel like. All right, so we'll come over here and talk about sizing right quick. So I will go from this corner straight down, I guess. So from there, from tip to tip, you're at about, say 12.5 inches, give or take. Maybe 12 3/8 from tip to tip. And then width, the pad, like this rubber padding right here, is just over 4, we'll say 4 1/8. But from the actual mount itself, it's more like 4.5. But yeah, these boards, they're okay. They're a little mushy. Supposed to be designed to absorb shock, but you can see there I can move these with just my hand strength. And not really grippy. I mean, they're okay. They're rubber, but they're, you know, slick. So let's get the measurements on the Genesis here. It's still so insane to me how much lighter these guys are. So tip to tip, we're like right at 12 inches. Now, from width standpoint, this intersection here is right at 4 1/4. But if we go to the wide parts here, kind of hard because it's got this slant. If we go from the mounting bracket out, just eyeballing it, we're probably at about 5 1/4. But one thing that I do love about these is, yes, these are extremely light, but they're not super milled out. They still got some chunk to them, plenty of grip. And again, I just cannot get over how insanely light these are. I'm really excited about that slant right there. That's pretty dope. Lighting over here is actually pretty good. Should have filmed over here. Oh well. Time to go get these installed. I mean, almost exactly, if not exactly, on the lower rocker boxes here. But these things are gonna look good. Stick around. We'll get them thrown on here in just a sec. So, as I mentioned, the nuts are keyed, so you don't need a wrench. But what I am going to do is take a dab of blue Loctite, just a touch. Put that on one. Put that on another. I know these are locking nuts, but I don't hardly can never be too cautious. So, one thing to note about these is you got the IDT logo, and that is going to be facing you. So this is my right peg. This is in the top left corner. So whenever I'm looking down, my toes are here. It's facing me. All you need is a 1/8 Allen. Let's see. There we go. There's one. And there's two. So, trying to work around this stand is kind of a pain, if I'm being honest. We got one of these ball head Allens. Makes it super nice. And I'm just gonna go until snug. Hey, what is going on, guys? It is your boy Taz from the future. I just wanted to hop on here real quick and give you a little wrap up on my final thoughts of the Genesis collection from ITD. So, these things are absolutely awesome. I love them. The fit and finish is great. As you know, I have the ST Bronze, and the color match on that is probably the best that I've seen on the market. If it is not a direct match, it is very, very close. And comparing to other companies like Flow, Moto, and maybe even OG Moto, their bronze is, in my opinion, not bronze. And if it is, it does not match the ST bronze. So the fact that they were able to get that so close is mind blowing to me, and it's probably one of my favorite aspects of it. Moving on from fit and finish, 100% American made. As I mentioned before, that is a huge deal to me. On top of them being a small business and sourcing everything here in the United States, that's huge to me. That's a very, very big deal. And in my opinion, if you're an American, you shouldn't look anywhere else than to support a 100% American made, USA sourced company. So, comparing them to the OEM, I feel with the Genesis way more planted. I'm not sure if it has anything to do with the rubber, I guess you can say, bushings on the OEMs. I just never felt like I was like really kind of like, in the bike, if that makes sense. It may have everything to do with, the stippling and the grip of the Genesis, but I feel more, comfortable and planted on the bike, like I said. And even the way that the Genesis are shaped, I feel like they are bigger in the right areas, if that makes sense. They're basically the same footprint. There's actually, those slash cuts in the top and bottom corner on the outside, but it doesn't take anything away. Not saying that the OEM did. I don't know. I feel more comfortable on the Genesis boards. And whenever I took it out on a test ride, I was absolutely ripping. Moving on from that, customer service. Marcus, hell of a dude. Super responsive, straightforward, doesn't give you any BS, and just an all-around nice dude. So nice that me and him was able to work together and get y'all a discount code. So this discount code is going to open up March 1st on their official release date, and is going to close March 31st. That discount code is TAZ10, TAZ10. I'll put it up here on the screen right there. I'll also throw it down in the description along with a link to their website, and I will also throw in Marcus's email just in case you feel a little weird texting him on his cell phone. That's pretty much all I got for this video. I appreciate you tuning in, and if you do buy from Genesis, let them know that I sent you, and be sure to use that code. Taz10, that's a huge deal for me. I've never done this with anybody. I'm not being paid for anything like this. He's just a hell of a dude, and I had a great opportunity to get my hands on him before their release. Thanks for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed the video. Tune into the next one because I've got more things coming. Peace.